Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another energy update with me, Rebecca.meisl, your intuitive guide. This is where I tune into the energies for the week ahead and channel any sort of important messages or insights that we need to know from my guides to you for the collective. Super excited to dive into this week's themes. We have a little bit more of a compact week. There's quite a few different themes and some more carryover themes from last week as well. So let's dive in, my friends. So, our first real message that really came through was this energy of self-reliance this week. So a lot of us might be stuck in this sort of pattern where we're totally thinking everything needs to be on our own shoulders. And what really was coming through is that we need to let go of this tendency to think that we alone need to shoulder everything, that we are responsible for everything, that we need to do everything on our own. And this week, we're getting such a huge message to release the need for this belief. So, a lot of times we can cognitively know this. We're like, okay, I know I need to share the load. I know I'm not alone. But what really was coming through this week is really feeling into that truth and dropping into that truth and experiencing that in its entirety. So much about releasing the need for self-reliance, sharing your burdens, and really communicating with the universe what you need help with, and really giving your burden to the universe to handle for you. So a lot about trusting, a lot about surrendering, as well as allowing space for possibility. So what was so cool is a lot of times this element of control comes in with us, where it's like, once again, we might be fearful of certain outcomes. We might be feeling like we need to have our ducks in a row and everything go just so we don't make a mistake, or we have that kind of micromanaging energy, right? Well, I need to make sure everything is just so. But I'm hearing this week it's important that we let go and we allow room and flexibility for other things to come in, and to allow things to happen where we're no longer kind of attached to a certain outcome or a certain thing happening or even time frame. Excuse me. So it's important for us to let go, be flexible, and surrender this week. So important. So what channeled was get out of your head and into your heart. Allow space for growth and possibility. You are upon fertile ground. And what was really cool was I started getting a ringing in my right ear. So we might actually be needing to look out for that little confirmations from the universe. Hey, pay attention to this. Hey, this is a good opportunity. Move forward. Hey, maybe don't go that direction. So really be aware of any sort of clairaudience this week, because I was really seeing that come in quite a bit. So letting things come in and be confirmed and listening to those synchronizations as they come in. So I was really seeing angels coming in. I was seeing our guides coming in, whispering little messages in the ear, letting us know where to move forward. So what really came through was allowing this possibility, allowing flexibility, and releasing the need to attach to certain outcomes or timelines. So, what channeled next was, with death comes rebirth. It's time to start again and assess what seeds have grown. Take the lessons learned with love. Allow time to grieve and forgive. Release guilt. You've done nothing wrong. Release your worries of yesterday. Remain cool, calm, and collected. Be free. Could you imagine a life where woes didn't exist, where your troubles melted away with the sunshine? Let go and be free. What would life be if you could trust? If you could release self-punishment, guilt, shame, any grudges or hurts, releasing the need to be perfect. Lean into your story now. Your life is about to change. So there's so much to unpack here with what channel, but what was really coming through is a lot of us we're closing off old cycles. We're closing off old ways of being. And what was really coming through here, it's like, allow yourself to take away what good could be found. Some of us have been going through some really tough things, some really tough experiences. We've seen a lot of disruption that has been happening lately, especially with this Mercury retrograde. It's been tumultuous for a lot of us. So there may be some real heavy baggage that we are carrying still. But what really came through is like, let go of the need to hold on to all of that. Share the load, let it go, and allow this rebirth to happen, because I feel like this Mercury retrograde was really illuminating to us just how much things haven't been working for us, or what lessons we really needed to uncover and learn, and ways of being that no longer serve us. So how can we take those lessons and go, okay, I learned this, I learned that. Now I'm going to let go of the rest. I'm not going to continue to hold on to the grudges. I'm not going to continue to hold on to the hurt. I'm not going to continue punishing myself by repeating these cycles. I'm going to love myself enough to let them go. So how can we do that? And start picturing life and what that could actually be for us. If we let go of the hurts, if we let go of these things that aren't working, that aren't functioning in our lives, what would life actually look like? What would life actually be for us? What would that experience feel like for us? So they're really encouraging us to move into that forward positive direction. What's next, right? What else could there be? And lean into our own stories. So there was a lot about creating the life you truly want, because we were illuminated now to what's not working. We're ready to clear that out. And now we're ready to step into the control, step into that element of I'm empowered. I get to choose my experience now and how I want to live life. And I get to choose to create new habits for myself, new ways of being for myself. And I get to actually love myself through the journey. I'm not going to continue to shame myself. I'm not going to continue feeling like I'm making mistakes. I'm going to change my perspectives. So I'm really hearing we're releasing this need to be perfect and learn what it means to be human, and dropping into that acceptance. So it's absolutely gorgeous. What a freeing experience we are leaning into this week. So what next came through was psychic visions, soul quests, and soul contracts. So this is a pretty loaded theme, which I feel is going to come up differently for each of us. Because this is a collective reading, please take what resonates. But I was really getting a lot of us are getting illumination to why certain events have happened in our lives, why we are connected to certain people in our lives. And they're just showing me this karmic energy, like these karmic connections. So maybe we're going to have this illumination to a past life. Maybe we're going to have illumination to where we are connected with certain people we are connected with now, and why the events have happened that have happened now, and how that is healing certain cycles. We're also going to be getting a lot around psychicness this week. So if we're starting to get visions, if we're starting to get premonitions, maybe we're going to start learning how to really trust and work with those things. So I'm seeing a lot of intuitive expansion happen this week, where we're really getting clearer insights into why events are happening the way they have been happening, or why things are moving forward the way they are. And we're getting illumination to perhaps even different outcomes and what that could look like. So I was hearing specifically illumination around why there is suffering. This was super interesting. So they're actually showing me someone whittling away almost like a staff, so a wooden piece of some sort, and somebody whittling that to perfection. So now we're putting in another notch. Now we're putting in another little twist of the knife to carve a certain curve. And what they were showing me was like with each notch, each like whittling away of chunks of wood, every time we whittle, every time we move in, we're shaping and we are making a masterpiece slowly but surely. And so what this really kind of gave to me was this example of releasing what's not serving the masterpiece. What's in the way of my masterpiece of life? What is, distracting from the beauty of my life? What is holding me back from shaping the life and the beauty that's there? So I keep seeing we're releasing this. And through this, we're starting to see the beauty in our suffering. And I know that's really hard for us as human beings to understand and to come to grips with. But what I'm really hearing this week is we're starting to see purpose in our suffering. We're starting to understand why we have the experiences we've had. And this illumination, once again, it's freeing us. And we're getting a lot of this clarity through these psychic visions this week, through these soul journeyings that we are taking this week. So if you can, set aside some time this week to really meditate. That was really coming in. Journey. Let your soul journey and show you, right? So one of the best things that I always recommend is setting very specific intentions. If you've been having a repetitive cycle, and you haven't gotten the big lesson yet in it, if you haven't understood why you've been having this situation, set intentions with the universe before you meditate. Hey, I need clarity around this specific event, this specific relationship. Can you please give me the clarity I need? And what I keep hearing is we're going to get that. So the universe responds the moment we give it permission and we're very specific about it. This is what I need. Please help me. So once again, we're removing the need for self-reliance. We're allowing the universe to be our partner, and we're allowing it to assist us this week to illuminating why we've had the events we've had, why we've had the challenges, the suffering we've had. And we're transmuting that pain. We're transmuting that darkness. We're transmuting those things into light, into clarity, into positive movement forward and actual gratitude for them. So I'm getting a lot of us are going to get greater clarity around our next steps once we have this illumination. So I'm going to read what channeled here. There is always power in our choices. We have free will. What will this experience be? How will I choose to experience it? How can I let go of what I don't understand and trust all will be shown to me? So once again, I'm seeing some of us be a little resentful, a little bit hurt, and we're needing to clearly express that. We need to express those human emotions and feel them fully this week. And what kept coming through was speak your suffering. Speak your suffering to the universe. Express all your hurt and all your pain. All of what you don't understand. Let the loving arms of the universe embrace you. Hold your woes, hold your worries. You are never alone. All will make sense soon. So trust. Keep holding on. You are almost there. Don't give up. You are so loved. This is what channeled. So how can we take back our power in these situations? Sometimes these unbearable situations. How can we allow ourselves to come back to center, to come back to that awareness that we are never alone when we're going through these things, that we can actually uncover purpose from our pain? And they're really giving this example of when someone's gone through a lot of injustice, when someone's gone through a lot of pain and trial, there's purpose that rises from that, where it's like, I want this universe, I want this world to know that even if they're going through what I have gone through, that there's help available, that I can help them, that I can have this desire to help those who have gone through similar circumstances. And they're just showing this passion and this purpose that starts really taking shape because of the pain we've experienced and how that really is moving us to help other people who are going through the same thing. So I'm hearing so much is coming through this week, and when it comes to clarity and helping us recognize we're never alone. And we have that power, even through challenge, to choose how we're going to experience that challenge. So once again, we can really feel helpless to life sometimes. We can feel like everything is out of our control, that nothing is in our hands. And that could be sometimes. Sometimes we have those situations, but it's like, what can I do regardless? What can I do in this moment to maintain my power, to remain calm, to let myself experience this unknown with a childlike wonder where it's like, okay, maybe I don't know my next steps, but I'm going to get curious about it. And I'm going to surrender my worries and I'm going to let go of my fears and I'm going to call in the universe to help me and go, here you go. Here you go, universe. Here's my burdens. Here's my worries. Here's my stress. Here's my fear. Please help me with this. Help me carry this load. I don't want to carry it by myself. And I'm hearing we're learning to do that. We're learning to trust the universe and ourselves that no matter what happens, we're going to be okay. And we can make it through this next chapter. So a lot of us are releasing a lot of these almost like aftershocks of Mercury retrograde and these tumultuous experiences. So move through this time with grace. Give yourself that time to grieve what was, to feel hurt, to feel angry. I just keep hearing it's important we don't bypass those things. They all have things of merit in them, and we need to start viewing ourselves with compassion when we're going through toughness, when we're saying goodbye to things, and we need to really honor it so we can fully let it go and move forward. So embrace that. Embrace these challenges right now. Learn what you can learn from these experiences and take the lessons learned. Allow yourself to trust because so much is coming in with this energy of support. So call in your guides this week. So crucial. So next from there, we have releasing fear, traversing the unknown with strength and courage. Don't be afraid to lean into the fear. Don't be afraid to let go, to break down, to be human. Okay. So what came through was realizations and comfort will come. Through the darkness comes the light. So once again, we're getting this recurring theme, trust. Okay. Trust. Keep emboldening yourself. Keep traversing the unknown territory and allow yourself to gather that strength and courage. So what was really coming through was gathering strong connections as well. This week is going to be so helpful. Being around people who light you up, being around people who can support you throughout this time. Okay, so I'm really hearing we can do this and don't be afraid to get vulnerable, to let yourself have an ugly cry, to let yourself have a breakdown moment and to be human because that takes a lot of strength. So from there, we have consequences of past actions. So interestingly enough, when I first wrote down this theme, I was like, ooh, wonder what this is about. And I feel like a lot of us are needing to get clarity around certain decisions we've made and how they've impacted us now. So a little bit of this review of the past, a little bit of this review of, once again, these little things that have happened. And what came through next was, how can you live more free? How can you live more joyfully? So once again, they're showing me the consequences of staying safe. So many of us choose to stay in the safe lane of our lives. But further down the line, we might regret that. It's like, man, I wish I'd taken that risk. I wish that I had taken that chance on myself, that I'd followed my intuition, right? We might have those moments this week where we get this illumination of like, you know what? I think I want to choose different. I think I want to have a different outcome this time. So they're really bringing in this awareness of freedom. How can we free ourselves from making the same choices, the same mistakes? How can we really take what we need to learn and choose differently? And what really came through was our relationships this week. So there's a lot about that. Huge theme on relationships. Who are we consciously going to choose now? So they're giving me this example of Perhaps we started off in a really toxic environment. Perhaps we had toxic family members. Perhaps we worked in a really toxic environment at work, whatever that is for you. But it's like, how can we stop choosing those types of associations? How can we choose differently this time? If we know that this is the way things were before, that this is the way people were before, how can we stop making exceptions? How can we start shifting to see that we deserve better? And what I keep hearing is, how can you start choosing intentionally your family? And what was so beautiful was Soul Family coming in this week. So I'm going to read what channel. It says, how can you live more free? How can you live more joyfully? How can you choose your family now? How do you want things to shift and to look like? Choose to let go of what was, to accept what is, and choose consciously what's next. So they're kind of giving me this almost like ultimatum energy. So making a decision, choosing with all your heart. That's what came through. Make your decision with all your heart. Make it simple. Don't overcomplicate. If mistakes were made, that's okay. Forgive yourself. Make peace with your heart. So really beautiful. For those of us who are in the midst of change, perhaps in our relationships, perhaps in, our home life, whatever that may look like for each of us and what resonates for you, I just keep hearing, come back to your heart, come back to your soul. Really listen to what resonates for you now. What changes need to happen? What are your non-negotiables? Where is your soul being called to? And what direction do you need to put more conscious effort in? So I keep hearing a lot of us need to be very conscious about who we are surrounding ourselves with and how they add to our vibration, how they add to our experience. And if they're not adding to our experience anymore, how can we make the change? How can we start really going into what we consciously need? So I'm seeing a lot of inner reflection happen this week, a lot of inner trust and courage and strength that comes from making these decisions and really coming to that simplicity, right? A lot of times we can look at all the external noise and that can really throw us off. That can be distracting. That can be like, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? They're like, no. Listen to your inner voice. What is your inner voice telling you? How can you clear the noise, clear the distractions, and get focused? What does your heart say? What does your heart want? And can you be honest about it? And they're really saying like hard truths are going to come to surface, but it's truths we need to face and really get clarity around this week. So if you're making a decision, lean into that. What does my heart truly want? What does it say? What does my soul say? And how can I make a choice that feels good with all of my heart? Right? So they're showing me some of us want to leap in because it's what we're familiar with. It's what we have always known. But where are you being called to take a risk, to take a leap, to trust yourself and let go of the fear of making a mistake? Because they're really saying if you feel like you've made a mistake, that's okay. Let it go. Stop judging yourself. If mistakes were made, forgive yourself. So if we do end up rehashing the past, let it go. Make peace with yourself. Make peace with your heart. Make peace with your past. And I'm really hearing you won't repeat. The minute you make peace with this, you won't repeat the cycle. You're going to forgive, you're going to let go, and you're going to start this whole fresh chapter. So I'm really hearing whether that is with the people you're with now, or if changes need to happen, regardless, you're making that self-commitment and you're freeing yourself from the hurt and the toxicities that no longer serve. So beautiful. And you're not alone in this. So I keep hearing, call in your angelic support. Call in. I'm hearing specifically Raguel and Chamuel. So Chamuel is the angel of unconditional love. So call in his energy to help you unconditionally love yourself. Call in Raguel to help you with mercy, with fairness, with peace, inner peace within ourselves. Call in those archangels this week to assist you as you move forward. So we're going to have a lot of magnified emotions this week, and we're going to have a lot of release work that happens this week, especially for traversing these challenges. So I'm hearing release, 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 and be gentle with yourself. And with that, reward yourself. Reward yourself for all that you have done, all of the progress you have made, all of the things that you are choosing consciously now. So I'm hearing a lot of us have held back from really rewarding ourselves. So allow yourself to do that. Reward yourself this week. Give yourself something nice. They're really showing me self-care. So like maybe a bath, maybe some like specialty care stuff, maybe go for a massage, like whatever it is that makes you feel treated, that makes you feel loved, that makes you feel good and your cup full. Treat yourself to that this week, because we've gone through a lot and we need to celebrate those choices and those challenges that we've overcome. So I'm hearing, be gentle with yourself, reward yourself. And what channeled was closing off chapters and cycles so you now can be free. Celebrate the choice of choosing yourself. You are breaking free of toxicity and judgment. When you do find yourself repeating old patterns, ask yourself, what would love do? Holding on to hurt, holding on to grudges and resentment only hurts you. Release hate and criticism. So it's really hearing with this closure that's coming in, we need to do some cord cutting. We need to do some clearing. So with that, call in Archangel Michael to help you do that as well. So give your angels full permission this week, because I'm really seeing angels be very highlighted and really want to help us this week. So call in those supports to help you do this. So cord cut, clear, and let yourself really drop into self-compassion. So what next came through was gifts and fine company. Surround yourself with friends. There's a huge highlight on the heart chakra. Where do you feel loved? How can you accept love from others? Choose people who choose you. Okay, so this was so beautiful. So I'm really seeing this energy come in of unconditional love and this balance between giving and receiving love this week. So if we haven't already, we need to surround ourselves with people we do feel completely loved and accepted with. And so I'm hearing this exchange needs to happen. You know, if you're with a lot of people that are just draining right now, or you're having that experience where you're feeling low, you need to move into that space where with people who love and accept you fully, where you're feeling topped up. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of this awareness coming in this week of where you do feel drained and that difference, that shift. So how can you accept that love? You know, so once again, we might have some heart healing that happens this week where it's like, you know what? I think I do just need to call my friend right now. I think I do need to ask for help. I think I'm going to give myself that gift of receiving. And it's like, for a lot of us, it's like a gift because we rarely do that. It's like, I never ask for help. I never reach out to people. I don't want to be a burden. But right now, I think I need to call someone, or I need to see my friends, or I need to be around some love. I need to have some love given to me this week. And so I'm really hearing, give yourself that. And it's going to feel like a gift, like, oh my God, me? It's about me right now. And it's going to feel like this total shift of like, it feels like unbelievable almost. Wow, it could actually be about me for once. And so they're like, lean into that. You need to have support. You need to have people around you. You need to have love in your life every day. So give yourself the gift of love. Give yourself the gift of your friendships and leaning on them for support this week. So, really go into that. Where do I have guards around my heart? Where am I not willing to give myself love and support when I need it? Where am I holding myself back from having a loving experience and also increasing my connection with others in my life? So, really beautiful. Choosing people who choose you. So, that was so beautiful as well. It's like, who do you know is going to show up every time? Who do you know that's going to be there and actually be there without a doubt? Who is it in your life that you know consciously chooses you every day, right? Those are the people you want to have in your corner. Those are the people you want to spend your energy on. Those are the people you want to keep in your family circle. So I'm really hearing, meditate on that. Who is consciously choosing me? And how can I remind myself of that when I feel like I need to bend for others or I need to make exceptions because of the conditioning I have, right? Sometimes it can be a bit of a rude awakening when we really start seeing who shows up and who doesn't. But it's all for our highest good because it's really helping us illuminate to who's really there for us, who really loves us unconditionally. So we might have that awareness in our relationships this week. And I just keep hearing, get curious, be mindful, don't get overly attached to outcomes, right? We need to release control, but act as the observer this week. What is really happening within my relationships? And how can I make the shifts that I need to make? So through this, we have our last theme of maintaining gratitude. See the signs that all is well, all is aligning. Take the leap into joy and to self-expression. So this is really beautiful. I was really hearing once more at the end of this week, we might once again have some things come up, but we're going to have gratitude. We're going to have this awareness of like, okay, I'm so grateful that I got this clarity. I'm so grateful. I now know what I'm going to do. And there's this beauty in that. There's this gratitude because we're taking away the lessons and the jewels we need to move forward. And we're seeing all the synchronicities around us that we aren't alone, that we get to experience this life. And it's going to be a totally new experience, a totally new chapter as we continue to choose ourselves, as we continue to traverse unknown territory, but we're going to do it with full faith. And that's what I keep hearing is we're bolstering our faith or bolstering our confidence and really becoming aware of our inner reserves, our inner strength, and what we're truly capable of. So keep choosing yourself this week, my friends. Keep leaping into joy, which I love so much. Follow your bliss. Follow what lights you up because that is where you're meant to be. So many times we have this backwards where it's like, oh, I got to suffer. I got to trudge through life before I get to enjoy it. A lot of times we're waiting until retirement to enjoy our lives. So how can we take our power back and go, you know what? I'm going to be joyful through every leap and bound. I'm going to be joyful through even the challenges. I'm going to maintain my bliss. I am going to do what lights me up and prioritize that. Because every time I do, I choose myself. Every time I do, I'm leaning into my purpose and I raise the vibration of myself and the world around me, which is so instrumental, way more than we even realize. So I'm hearing really move into that and find new ways of expressing yourself. So this was such a beautiful side message for us as creators this week. How are you being called to create right now? Where are you being led to create? What are you passionate about? And we might have a little of that inner discovery, right? So I'm really hearing we need to do that. We need to discover what lights us up again and what we're being really called to do. So dig into that. Where's my soul wanting to go? What do I really want to do with my life? And am I doing it? Am I actively taking the steps I need to take to create the reality I want to live in every day? And if I'm not, how can I shed some of this extra stuff that's not in alignment? Right? So once again, they're like, see the signs that all is aligned. See the signs that all is well. You're working towards it. You're getting there. Just trust. Keep trusting. Keep surrendering what doesn't serve. Keep surrendering your worries. All is well. We got your back, but just keep leaning into your purpose. Keep leaning into your power. And you're going to be amazed at where that leads. So, for my creators, for my innovators, for my visionaries this week, really start getting clear on what it is you want to create, what you want to build in your life. And I'm just seeing this beautiful foundation. This beautiful foundation that is beginning to come to fruition. So trust, my friends. Keep taking the leap, keep expressing yourself, keep getting creative and intentionally creative, and stay authentic to yourself. Stay true to you, and you're going to be amazed at what miracles start happening in your life. So that's all I have for us this week. I really hope you enjoyed this week's reading. I feel like I had some really specific messages for certain individuals this reading, this go, but let me know how everything resonates for you, my friends. Sending lots of love and light. Have a beautiful week. Bye.